Speaker is colleague Miss Alina Reva. She will be sharing the experiences on sustainable energy in the mountains in Ukraine, I assume. Please. Alina, floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm very thank you for the opportunity to be part of large and the international community. And I'm here I will try to show you my presentation as short as possible. And my topic is sustainable energy in the mountains of Ukraine. As we run of time, I will try to explain you different types of sustainable energy, which we used in the Carpathian region in Ukraine. And first type is solar energy, wind power, hydropower, and biogas. If we look at the map of solar activity of Europe, we will see that Ukraine average annual solar radiation is the same in France, Austria, and other northern regions of Italy. Here you can see that here is Ukraine, and thank you for my colleague to be which explain a little bit about Ukraine and Ukrainian Carpathians. And now we are familiar with these issues more. So as we start off solar energy, it means that Ukraine has large numbers of solar installations, and Uzhgorod district of Carpathian region has a power plant Guta 2, which have power more than 3 megawatt, and also solar energy Solar Energy Plus and Shalanki 2. It means that we have a lot of such solar plants, and photo barriers. Why we use these solar plants in Ukraine? Because the photo barriers are now in great demand in the world and could be exported, especially to our country, and thus the use of alternative energy sources of Ukraine we undoubtedly be fair. In other hand, the Ukrainian economy has the appropriate capacities for the production of the necessary components and the creation of the infrastructure for such energy. The next type is the wind power. In regions with a high wind speed in coastal zones and facilities where the solar power plant cannot cope in winter, wind power plants are used for autonomous power supply. And while wind speed and the absence of turbulence should be critical when choosing the site of wind turbine. For this reason, among other located at the top of a mountain or a hill is also ideal. For example, there are 2 modern wind power plants in Ukraine, the Stary Sambyr 1 and Stary Sambyr 2 wind farms located in the Prikarpatia, and it was opened in 215 and 216. The highest turbine more than 100 meters and plants more than 56 meters. In addition, the next slide, you can see the truths and a lot of myths about wind power, and false and true. For example, a lot of scientists decided that the noise generated by wind turbines can affect human health, frequent shadows, infrasound, turbine kills many birds, and high cost. But for to be true, the modern turbines planned in such way to minimize the noise from the mechanical elements of the wind turbine, and one has only to retreat from the house at the distance. And in addition to all these advantages of using alternative energy sources, wind farm have different consequences. And also the last argument of opponents of alternative wind power, it's a high cost, but with the rates of growth in the cost of electricity that are now observed in our country. In a year or two, this type of business may turn to be much more profitable than in the moment. So the third issue. It's hydropower. It's a combination of a natural and artificial system designed to convert energy water flow into electricity. There are hydroelectric power plants where take place electricity generation by use of water flow energy, as well as natural and artificial objects, rivers, dams, reservoirs, and etc. Up to 10 small hydroelectric power plants running in the Transcarpathian region, but a different stage of planning, design, and production permits in the Carpathian region, Ukraine. There are more than 500 small hydroelectric power plants. So here you can see on the slide, you can see the different risks of hydropower. For example, there are a lot of power plants and animal could exist, and different risks associated with the impact of the geological environment of the building and structures of hydropower plants, and different risks of changes in oxygen, temperature, flow, velocity, drying rivers, and other risks. So the last type, it's biogas. Here you can see the photo of the biogas plant, and you can see how it works. And I will tell you about biofuel a little bit. It's any type of fuel obtained from plant raw materials, animal waste, organic waste from industry and human life. And ordinary firewood is also biofuel, renewable sources of the thermal energy. Truth, it will take several decades to restore its reserves. For the production of solid biofuels, waste from the woodworking industry is used, and raw materials, energy, food, especially growing. The advantage in this case, the relative cheapness of the resulting products, and the disadvantage is the rather long recovery growth period of the raw material. Also, here we can see example of biogas plant. With this QR code, you can open the website and you can see the beautiful example of Ukrainian entrepreneurship, how they work and deal with from chicken, natural fertilizer from chicken manure, and also the mountains regions of the Carpathian has a large number of agricultural lands as well as farms, and many settlements allocate livestock. Would you hear me?
Yes, Alina, but time is short. Please,
okay,
if you can.
Okay,
yeah?
I will
Thank
just
you.
tell you. So, thank you. Just one moment. It's here. You can see that we have a widespread and numerous different plants and different alternative sources. So it means that we on the way of developing our ecosystem in Ukraine. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Alina. Thanks a lot. Okay.